Hello and welcome back to Gapy's Garden. Today we are going over my garden plan for this year and specifically the capsicum chinense varieties of peppers that I'll be growing. So I wanted to give you a quick look at what I use to plan my garden. So I have two different tools that I use. The first one is a Google Sheet document, and this is a list of everything I'll be growing this year and the date I've started it. And if I haven't started it yet, I also have a date on when I plan to start it. Now those dates may change slightly from what I have in here, and if they do, then I'll just update it to whatever date that I end up starting it on. But anything in green on here is everything that I've already started. So you can see I've gotten through all my seeds for February, and the next set of seeds are going to be the tomato seeds, which I'll be starting mid-March. And I also keep track of the date that they sprout or germinate. And then when I do my repotting, my transplanting, and harvesting, and then sometimes I'll add some various notes also on the sheet. So let's scroll up, take a look at the peppers real quick. So the chinense varieties, you can see this one has no date on it because that one I had some trouble with germination. So I won't be growing the Batman Bubblegum 7 Yellow this year, unfortunately, because the seeds just didn't germinate for me. So I do have a replacement for that, which I'll show you in just a second. But you can see here I've got two dates listed in the date started column for all the chinense varieties. And that is because I had some trouble with the first set of seeds. I forgot to put the thermostat probe for the heat mat back under the seeds when I was checking on them. And so the heat mat got up to around 120 degrees, which pretty much fried all those seeds that I started on January 30th. So I started another set on February 6th and had better luck with germinating those, except for that Bubblegum 7 Batman one. But I do have a replacement for it. So back on February 20th, I started the Pink Tiger and Peach Boot Cross. So that's going to be taking the place of the Bubblegum Yellow. So this is what I'm using for planning out when I'm going to plant everything or start everything. And then I've also got a graphical garden plan. This is a garden plan that's by the Grow Veg app. And I've been using this garden plan for probably about 5, maybe 6 years. But this has been really helpful to plan out where I'm going to plant everything in the garden. And I've got several raised beds, so all these brown boxes that you see here are all raised beds. Some of them have perennials in them, and some of them have annuals. So I've got all the berry bushes. I've also got some fruit trees back here in the back. And down here we've got the greenhouse, so I'll be growing all the peppers, or at least most of the peppers in the greenhouse. I've got a few peppers scattered around in the raised beds as well. But I've also got some eggplants, and I'll be doing one tomato in the greenhouse this year. And then this is my only in-ground bed that's not a raised bed. So this is just an area that we dug out of the grassy area, and I've got some corn that I've grown in there a couple times. And I've got potatoes, Swiss chard, and I'll be doing some pole beans along with the corn. And then over here on the right, I've got one more raised bed, and this is where all the garlic is currently growing. And then I've got some Mexican pepper varieties that I'll also be growing in this bed, and a couple squashes. So I've also got, you can also put all kinds of stuff in here. So I've got the compost bins here on the right, and then I've also got some chicken coops. So we have 2 chicken coops here that I'm putting in here. And I've got the bee boxes, so there's a couple of beehives right here, so that's what that little box there is. But you can pretty much put anything you want in these garden plans, which is pretty cool. And there is I think you can get a free trial for this if you want to try it out before you buy a subscription. But I've been using this for so long, I actually pay for the subscription, and I think it's well worth the price. And I can't remember what the price is right now, but I'll look that up and put a link to it in the description of this video. And also a link to my garden plan, so anybody can view my garden plan and see what I'm growing if you want. All right, let's take a look at the chinense varieties I'll be growing. The first variety is the Pink Tiger and Peach Boot Cross that I mentioned before that I'm growing that wasn't in my original plan. But this is a pepper from White Hot Peppers, and I got this one from actually a contest that I won last year for the Pepper in a Can challenge. I think I ended up in maybe third place in that challenge, and I won, I think it was a $50 gift certificate to White Hot Peppers. So I had a lot of fun picking out a bunch of pepper seeds from White Hot Peppers, and this is one of the varieties that I got, which is, again, the Pink Tiger Peach Boot Cross, and it's an F3, so it's not very stable, so it may or may not look like the picture here, but I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. But it looks like a pretty neat pepper. And it says it's super hot, so I'll probably be saving this one for chili powders and hot sauces. So the Orange Ripple is a pepper variety from Jason Schwartz, but I actually got the seeds from Rob Schaller, and I think he got his seeds from Jason, I believe. But this is a picture that Jason took of the pods that he grew, and they've got some pretty gnarly tails on some of them, which is pretty neat. I think that's a fairly hot variety, but it is a cross of the yellow Scotch bonnet, orange habanero, and a reaper. So it's got some reaper in there, so I'm sure it's going to be plenty hot, so it's going to be another one that I'll use for a hot sauce and chili powder. And then next up we have the datil pepper. And the datil is actually a pretty popular variety. I haven't grown any of these varieties I'm growing this year because I like to try new varieties every year. So all of the chinense varieties I'm growing are ones that are brand new to me. So datil is a pretty popular one. It's used in a lot of hot sauces, I believe, but it originated in St. Augustine, which I think is in Florida. Yeah, St. Augustine, but this one is actually not a very hot one. It's only 100,000 to 300,000 Scoville, which is actually pretty mild for a chinense variety. So that is supposed to be a tasty pepper, so I'm looking forward to that one. It's not really big, so I think it's going to be a pretty productive pepper. And I got that one from Curtis West back in 2018. And you'll notice I pretty much don't buy really any of my pepper seeds because I get so many of them from seed swaps and contests and stuff. So I very rarely buy any pepper seeds because I have so many to try. And then next up we have the giant habanero. And this is actually a pepper that I got from Rob Schaller also. And this is one that I won in a guess the weight of this pepper contest. So this is a video that he posted of his peppers, and this is actually the giveaway video. So he took one of these peppers and asked people to guess the weight, and whoever came closest to the weight won the contest and won some seeds. So I actually got the closest guess. The pepper ended up being 24 grams, which is really, really pretty large for a habanero. So habaneros normally are only 6 grams or so. And so 24 is like 4 or 5 times the weight of a normal habanero. So I almost always grow a habanero variety every year. And this year I'll be growing the giant habanero, and it's the red variety. There's also other colors. Roger Torsythe is the creator of these giant habaneros. But let me show you. White Hot Peppers is selling Roger's different habaneros. So I've got the red one here on the top. And then he's also got an orange, a peach, and there's also a red long variety. But I'm pretty sure mine is the one here on top that I'm growing. And let's see, next up we have the Bubblegum 7 crossed with the Tabasco pepper. And this is the one I'm growing for the Pepper Lovers Bubblegum contest this year. So whoever gets the most pods off of their bubblegum plant will win some kind of a prize. So everybody needs to keep track of how many peppers they harvest off of one plant. And this is the one I decided to go with. It looks like it's an F3, so it's fairly unstable. But I think the pods are pretty small, so I'm thinking it's going to be a really productive bubblegum variety because it is crossed with Tabasco, which is a productive pepper. So I got those seeds from Scott Franklin. And that is one I'm really looking forward to because I've always wanted to grow a bubblegum variety. So that should be a fun one. Oh, and they call it, I'm not sure exactly where the bubblegum name come from, but bubblegum varieties have the color of the pepper bleeds into the calyx, which is the part below the stem. And it also can bleed into the stem also, as you can see here. And then next we have another Bootjalokia. This one is a white W strain. So this one is a really light yellow color, which is a pretty cool one. Let's see, I got this one from William Pratt, and I think he probably got his seeds from White Hot Peppers. I'm not sure if anybody else sells them other than them, but these are, and look at how productive this plant is. That looks pretty crazy. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. It's supposed to be another, it says it's very hot, so I don't think it's as hot as some of the other ghost varieties. But the pods can get over 5 inches long, it says. So I am looking forward to that one. Probably be another one for making hot sauce out of. And then next up we have Tennessee Blackout. So this one, I don't think you can buy seeds for this one anywhere. This is one that I got from Feroce Peppers, and he's the one I believe that developed this pepper variety. But he isn't sure what the cross is, so I'm not sure if it's a mystery cross that came out of his garden or what. But he did say it has some Pimenta de Nede in it, so that is one of the varieties in it. And then he said it was a chinense annuum cross. So it's actually not a very spicy pepper. So I am looking forward to growing that. I'm not sure how spicy it is, but it should be pretty mild. So I might be able to handle that one outside of a hot sauce or a pepper powder. And next up, lastly, we have some Kangstar crosses. So this is his Kangstar. Well, actually, he's got 3 peppers that are all pretty much related. So the Lemon Starburst is the yellow one, and I've grown that one for several years. I decided not to grow that one this year because I wanted to try some of his other varieties. So we've got the Scarlet Rose is the red one, and then this orangish colored one is the Peach Star-Kissed. So all of them are the same cross. It's the MOA Scotch Bonnet crossed with the Bahamian Goat. They're just different phenos or colors of the same cross. So they should be pretty similar in taste, I think. But I'm looking forward to trying these other 2 this year in the garden. And I think, and I did get these seeds directly from Kang, so they should be pretty good. But I am saving, and I think you can't buy Kangstar seeds anywhere either. He only allows them to be traded. So if you do want any of his varieties, you might want to check out the Pepper Lovers community on Facebook, and you could probably find somebody that might be willing to do a seed trade with you to get your hands on some of his seeds. I do have some extra Lemon Starburst seeds, but since I haven't grown these other 2 before, I don't have any seeds of those. But I always save my seeds every year, so I'm sure I'll have some extra seeds of these 2 varieties available at the end of the season if anybody wants to do some seed trading. And those are all the chinense varieties I'll be growing this year. Thanks for watching. I'll probably do another video on some of the annuum and baccatum varieties I'm going to be growing as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.